that overseas.
Good evening. Welcome to the March 21st, 2016 Troy City Council meeting. We are pleased this evening to have Councilman Baker lead us with the invocation, so please rise for that and then remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father in heaven, we give you thanks for this day and thanks for the blessings you've bestowed upon all of us, especially here in the city of Troy. We ask that you continue to bless us this evening through our city council meeting and help us to be wise stewards of the city's money and help us be there for all those who reside in our city, do business in our city, and travel through and into our city. Please be with us as always. In his name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Councilman Baker. Our Troy City Council meeting is called to order. The roll call, Ms. Dixon.
Mayor Slater?
Here.
Councilmember Abraham?
Here.
Councilmember Baker?
Here.
Councilmember Campbell?
Here.
Councilmember Henderson? Councilmember Hoderick? Mayor Pro Tem Pennington?
I have been notified by Mayor Pro Tem Pennington, Councilman Henderson, and Councilwoman Hoderick that they would be absent from the council meeting this evening. So I will move the resolution that the Troy City Council hereby excuses the absence of Mayor Pro Tem Pennington, Councilman Henderson, Councilwoman Hoderick at the regular City Council meeting of March 21st, 2016 due to being out of the county.
Support.
Moved by the chair and supported by Councilwoman Abraham that we excuse the absence of Mayor Pro Tem Pennington, Councilman Henderson, Councilwoman Hoderick at the regular council meeting of March 21st, 2016. Discussion. The vote, Ms. Dixon?
Mayor Slater?
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Campbell?
Yes.
Motion passes. First on the agenda is certificates of recognition and special presentations. And I have the honor this afternoon, and this evening of presenting a proclamation in recognition of the Athens High School Student Congress for raising more than $84,000 during their February 2016 Charity Week. And if I could, I'd like to meet Troy Athens Principal Dr. Laura Dixon and student advisors Christy Pierce and Sean Dufresne at the podium so I can make this presentation.
Mayor, may we quickly just introduce our students? Oh, thank you. Come on.
Could you come over here?
They got to introduce themselves.
Yes.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you do it here and then come stand over?
Ella Patrona, I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Homa. I'm a senior.
Chris Mastrecki, a senior. Joey Stark, a junior. Sean Wainig, junior.
Ellery Thill, junior. Maya Rage, senior.
Peter Georginas, junior.
Tara Stagel, junior.
Neha Paragi, junior.
Brianna Naughton, sophomore.
Wow. Thank you all for coming this evening. And what are all the other students here for? Just to watch?
AP government.
You making sure that we do this right? Is that what it is? Okay. Well, it is an honor and a privilege for me to be here this evening to present this proclamation in recognition of Athens High School 2015-16 Student Congress. And do you want to come up and receive this on behalf?
I want to, but the students who should come up are the students. So Hope and Maya, will you do the honor?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'd like to read this, if I could, into the record, because it is something that we should be so proud of. Whereas the Athens High School Student Congress is a very active and dedicated group of 55 students and 2 advisors committed to giving back to their community as well as the region. And whereas each year the Athens High School Student Congress puts in countless hours as well as blood, sweat, and tears to help raise money for a charity of their choice during Charity Week. And whereas the Athens High School Student Congress selected the Joan Rose Foundation, a nonprofit organization that provides impoverished children in Haiti with the opportunity to succeed in life. The foundation provides food, education, clothing, medicine, love, and support to their children. And whereas this year the Athens High Student Congress gave back in a way that many teens and even adults could not do by organizing a full week of activities, including game night, jail and bail. What's that about? Were you arrested?
Yeah, you can arrest your teachers, administration, students, and they go to our jail that we set up on the West Deck.
Good. Some teachers, does it cost more to get out than others? Yes, yes. Teacher dance battle? I'd like to see that.
There is a video.
Is there? Okay. Pancake breakfast, penny wars, film festival, parent cook-off, restaurant nights, volleyball tournament, Mr. Athens pageant. You the winner? Come here. Congratulations. You know, that's it's quite an honor for a guy, you know. T-shirt sale, no, you can stay here. T-shirt sales, dance, prep rally, and of course, much, much more, right? And whereas Athens Student Congress raised $84,000 $104.21 this year for the Joan Rose Foundation. They also raised more than $57,000 in 2015 for Wish Upon a Teen, $56,000 in 2014 for Desert Angels, and more than $40,800 in 2013 for Angels of Hope. More than $35,000 in 2012 for I've Got Your Back, and $34,000 in 2011 for Believe in Miracles. Very impressive. And whereas the Student Congress generates excitement throughout the school's 1,600 students as well as within the community. Congress meetings take place prior to school starting, and after a full day of classes, members stay after school to count pennies, sell shirts, run the events, and then go home to complete their homework. There is not a lot of sleep for Congress members during the Charity Week. And whereas students find out how much money they raised at a Friday PEP assembly and then celebrate their accomplishment with a final fundraiser dance that evening. So, now therefore be it resolved that the Troy City Council extends special recognition to the Athens High School Student Congress for their selfless and tireless service and dedication to so many worthwhile organizations over the years. And be it further resolved that the Troy City Council and all Troy residents congratulate the Athens Student Congress for being a shining example of how to give back to the community as well as the region, and wish all of the Athens High School students' continued success in all future endeavors. It's presented this 21st day of March 2016, signed by myself, all members of City Council. Thank you so much to the Student Congress for making our city so proud. Thank you for the hard work. Congratulations on your success. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's take a picture. Come on in, Paul. Cindy, one more. Can we get all of the council to come down here with us? Sure.
Would you do me a favor?
Okay, if I get it? Okay, I'll think about it.
Maybe your first followers.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We will send you the invite. I know the date.
I don't have a nice tie on that. It's a $200 tie. Where'd you get it, Chad? $12. $14.95. That's why you guys go overseas.
That's the only reason.
I'll have to get Edna to bring me some.
I know 3 council members that are going to be pretty upset that they weren't part of this. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah.
Go Hawks. Yeah, that's right.
There are no carryover items this evening, no public hearings. I don't see that anyone has signed up for public comment for items on the agenda from Troy residents or businesses. There are no postponed items this evening, so we will move to regular business. There are no mayoral appointments or city council appointments this evening. I do have one mayoral nomination, but I'm going to hold off until we have a full council. Mayor Pro Tem Pennington is not here this evening, so there will not be any city council nominations. There is no closed session request this evening, so we will move to I-4, which is a proposed amendments to chapters 18, which is the city water utility, 19, the city sewer service, and 20, the water and sewer rates of the city code. I see Paul Trosper is here, the superintendent of water and sewer. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Now that we have officially transferred our contract from Detroit Water and Sewer, we have to make some amendments to chapters 18, 19, and 20 to reflect this transfer to Great Lakes Water Authority. And while we were reviewing, we also did some revisions to the cross-connection control to basically help clarify who is responsible for testing, and that was about the whole thing of it there. We just need to get this transferred so that we can show that Great Lakes Water Authority is our contract holder. We are a customer of them now.
Thank you, Paul. Any questions from council? Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Baker?
Mayor, I'd like to move I-4, proposed amendments to Chapter 18, City Water Utility, 19, City Sewer Service, and 20, Water and Sewer Rates of the City Code, including the amendments in A, B, and C as printed.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Baker and supported by Councilman Campbell that we approve I-4, A, B, and C as printed in the agenda packet this evening. Discussion? The vote, Ms. Dixon?
Councilmember Abraham?
Yes.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Campbell?
Yes.
Mayor Slater?
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you for all your hard work. Next is the consent agenda. Does anyone on council wish to pull a consent agenda item this evening? Councilman Baker?
I move the consent agenda J as printed in the agenda packet.
Moved by Councilman Baker and supported by Councilwoman Abraham that we approve all items on the consent agenda as presented in the agenda packet this evening. Discussion. Vote, Ms. Dixon.
Councilmember Baker?
Yes.
Councilmember Campbell?
Yes.
Mayor Slater?
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham?
Yes.
Motion passes. If you're here on a consent agenda item this evening, they've all been approved. There are no memorandums and future council agenda items this evening. I don't see that anyone has signed up for public comment this evening from Troy residents and businesses. There are no council referrals this evening, so we will move to council comments. Any council comments this evening? Just a quick comment. I don't know if you noticed, we have new TV screens, new cameras, thanks to city staff and everyone that was involved in getting that. It makes it much nicer for those of us that are in the chamber. Thank you. Any comments on any of the reports that were submitted in the agenda packet this evening from council? I don't see that anyone has signed up for comments on items on or not on the agenda from members of the public outside of Troy. There is, oh, you see one? I'm sorry, I didn't go down far enough. I'll call on Lori Savin, who wishes to speak on Q1. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. I'm Lori Savin. I'm a resident of West Bloomfield. I live at 5100 Chestershire Court, West Bloomfield, Michigan, 48322. I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce myself to the fine people that serve the city of Troy. I am running for Oakland County Circuit Court Judge. For those of you that know Joan Young, she sits on the family division of the Circuit Court and she's retiring at the end of this year. So there's an open position. I've been an attorney for just over 20 years. I grew up in Southfield and Oak Park. This is my home. My experience lends myself to fulfilling the family court seat. For the past 13 years, I've actually been a hearing officer with the family division at the Oakland County Circuit Court. Done all sorts of representation of adults and children prior to joining the court. I've represented children in abuse and neglect cases in juvenile court, which is probably one of the most challenging but rewarding jobs I've ever had in my life. For the past 13 years, as a hearing officer, I do the same sorts of hearing judges do in domestic relations cases. So decide custody, support, parenting time, whether or not children can move out of the state or even out of the country sometimes. I think it's important that we elect somebody to that seat that cares about the outcomes for children and tries to decrease the acrimony and animosity between parents when their children haven't asked to be put in this situation. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to my presentation, and I hope I have a chance to meet all of you and the members in your community in the future to learn more about my candidacy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That concludes those that have signed up to speak. There is no closed session this evening. So you students are very lucky. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming this evening.